Hey everypony, Golden Star here, and it is good to be back. I apologise for the delay in getting the last few episodes reviewed, which as you may know was due to my computer breaking down. But now I have a brand new one, and so I am finally ready to get back up to date with the show. Let's get started right away by reviewing A Heartwarming Tale. As expressed in the opening song, Heartwarming Eve is here once again, apparently, and every pony in Ponyville is in the holiday spirit, except Starlight. In an attempt to get her feeling more festive, Twilight reads her one of her favourite heartwarming stories, which forms the basis for the rest of the episode. I don't know about you, but here in the UK, it's become something of a tradition to complain about certain things like celebrations or promotions beginning far earlier than necessary. Like when you go into a supermarket and you see them selling Easter eggs in January, or back to school stuff when kids aren't even halfway through their summer vacation yet. But by far, one of the most obnoxious, at least for me, is when I see stores selling Christmas goods like wrapping paper, decorations, or even advent calendars as early as September. So with all this in mind, when I saw that My Little Pony was premiering a Christmas episode in May, I rolled my eyes and thought, okay, I'm used to holiday celebrations starting too early, but this is just ridiculous. But despite everything, including its premise, I actually found A Heartwarming Tale to be an outstanding episode. New to the writing team, but a very familiar name to the franchise, Mike Vogel, former Vice President of Development for Hasbro Studios, makes his debut for the show here, and he just nails it. The story within a story is an obvious retelling of A Christmas Carol, with Starlight Glimmer representing the Scrooge protagonist, named Snowfall Frost here, and Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Princess Luna playing the spirits of past, present, and future respectively. The script mixes in elements of The Grinch as well, with Snowfall plotting to conjure up a spell that will permanently rid Equestria of heartwarming. Although Charles Dickens' 1843 novella has been adapted umpteen times, MLP's interpretation of the story is still an excellently realised and hugely enjoyable one. And of all the versions I've seen that are based on other existing properties and franchises, I would honestly call this one of the better ones. The reason why is because I find the majority of these adaptations to do a fine job in keeping true to the story, though to be fair, it's pretty hard to mess A Christmas Carol up however you tell it, but they don't always do a great job in keeping true to themselves. A Heartwarming Tale is one of those renditions that I felt captured the perfect balance. It remains faithful to the Christmas Carol tale, but at the same time, it remains faithful to its own identity, and still feels like a My Little Pony episode. And on both counts, it's really impressive. Also serving as the musical episode of Season 6, the songs here are all fantastic. Whether it's to progress the story, showcase the emotions of certain characters, or to simply get the viewer into the festive spirit, each one is wonderful and perfectly utilised in its own unique way. Although most seem to be partial to Luna's future, Pinkie Pie's infectiously bouncy song and dance number is my personal fave, and the one I'll be revisiting the most.
Presents always filled with presents, so come on, open your eyes. Spend time with ponies just like you and watch your spirits rise. The presents always filled with presents, take a look around. The reason for the holiday is quite easily found. Yes, the reason for the holiday is quite easily found. And the reason is to be with your friends.
You may also remember me saying in the last review that after Rarity and Rainbow Dash did their own Pinkie impressions, I kinda hoped Twilight did one next, as that would mean that all the other voice actresses for the main six would have had a try at it. And wouldn't you know it, Twilight does exactly that at the end of the song, and it's just a delightful icing on the cake moment for that sequence.
And the reason is to be with your friends. And the reason is to be with your friends.
What? You know you're doing your Pinkie Pie voice, right? I was not.
Although the concept is well handled and executed, the story is still a little too busy, and pacing definitely feels rushed at times. And I have to echo many comments that say that this episode might have been stronger as a two-parter. As the story is being told, it's clear that the Snowball Frost character is intended to reflect Starlight herself, both with her feelings about the holiday and some of her childhood past, but the events are only shown from the point of view of her fictional counterparts. I think if the parallels between the two had been explored a bit more, maybe by having the story occasionally cut back to Starlight's own personal perspective of the holiday, it could well have added some emotional depth to the episode, and perhaps made it near perfect. However, the story is capped off with a moral that definitely resonates heavily and appropriately for a holiday special, expressing the importance of taking the time to spend such special occasions with your family and friends. It may be impossible to call it original, but A Heartwarming Tale is still a wonderful watch, and for me, it's easily the best heartwarming episode yet. While the great songs, storytelling, and messages are all key factors, the main purpose of almost any Christmas film or TV special is to embody the spirit of the holiday so effectively that it ultimately leaves the viewer feeling festive. Despite the beyond confusing decision to have it premiere in May, that's exactly what this episode did for me. And out of the show's 3 seasonal offerings, I felt this one easily did it the best. I can't wait to spend my next Christmas Eve enjoying it again, and it gets a gold star score of 9 out of 10.